Okay guys, here's the air-water separator for my MC2A air compressor. I got it apart, inspected the inside of the reservoir. It had a little bit of water residue and a little bit of oil residue in there, but it was clean and empty. Then I pulled the blow-off valve off. Discovered that it was it's brass after I cleaned it up. So when they're cast in two pieces and then they're electro welded together, and this portion right here is what makes them slag when they're pressed together, and you can see the grind marks coming perpendicular to the parting halves. Well, this part right along here from about here to here had a pretty good split in it, so I just got some 60-40 solder and soldered it up. I didn't think it would work, but it did. Then when I was reinstalling the blow-off valve back onto the body of the separator, there's a fitting inside between this nut here and the blow-off valve body. And here's the fitting. I barely put any pressure on it, and the damn thing twisted right apart. So I bought two new fittings. There's the spare. I had to shorten it just a bit, file the threads a bit. Now everything's back together the way it should be. So when there's too much buildup of water, there's an automatic float inside the reservoir that climbs up and somehow or another, either through pressure or whatever, opens the valve at the bottom and all of the water comes spraying out of there. There's also a manual pop-off button that you're supposed to check every time you run the air compressor, and that's right there. Okay, so let's get this thing back together. There's the weasel and the air compressor. And that's her resting place right there. So I have a nice little place to rest the camera. I'm not as sophisticated as a lot of YouTubers here. Still got a 6-year-old flip phone. I just happen to like antiques a little bit better. Anyway, so it's just a regular pipe clamp fitting here. Put it in the mount. Install the washers and the self-locking grade 8 nuts. Tighten them down. They don't have to be gorilla tight. A lot of people think that you really got to over tighten things when it's mechanical. You just don't have to do that. It winds up destroying threads and fittings and whatnot. So the fittings on the ends here are AN fittings. The male end is convex, and I don't think you can see down inside the hose here. The female end is concave. Makes for a very efficient and tight fitting. The upper nut is 11/16 and the lower one is 3/4. See if I can get this. Oh man. So that's all it needs. That's the inlet hose from the air compressor, and this is the outlet hose to the radiator. It's actually an air dryer. That keeps a lot of moisture out of the dryer. And that's it. That's all we need. Everything's back together. She's ready to go. I'm sure there'll be some more little things that I need to fix on this unit. But again, like I said, it was well worth the price when I purchased it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.